at all relation to the old Österreich ring on which it's based, the setting is beautiful. Although the track is tight, the racing is always exciting.
Thank you, Murray, and welcome to round 9 of the F1 99 Championship. So we're now halfway through the season, so just have a quick look at the championship table. So we've got Irvine on 44, I'm in second with 35, Hakkinen with 31. So quite interesting as we go halfway through this season. So jump into qualifying. So this first hot lap, so going uphill towards turn 1, slightly outbrake myself, lock the rear wheels, and that's going off the track. It's just becoming a bit of a mess here, but I decided to close out the lap, just get a time on the board, see where that puts, and just carry on from there. So I cross over the line. It's nearly 5 seconds down in 13th. It's Ralf Schumacher on the pole. As we go through turn 1, so we've got it more nailed this time, and we've got one of the McLarens up in front. I believe that's David Coulthard. As need to get past him going into turn 2. Incredibly tight corner, made a little bit of contact, but I think that actually probably helped me get slowed down, because he actually wasn't the only person in the gravel. That was Damon Hill as well, also in the gravel trap. 3 tenths down on Ralf Schumacher. But the issue with this track, it's such a short track that if you're down with any time in qualifying, it's very difficult to try and get it back. As we go towards the double left-hander, very tricky corner this one because you can't see the apex, but the next left-hander, fantastic corner in this game if you get it nailed, and probably not the best effort there. As we go up the hill towards the last 2 corners, so another tricky corner here because you can't see the apex as you go down, and into the final corner, a very short lap, so looking at about 1 minute 6 here, I believe, 1 minute 7. We cross the line, puts us in second place behind Ralf Schumacher. So we'll go on to our final lap of qualifying here. So we go quite neatly through turn 2, and it's still Ralf on the pole, so he's set an absolutely fantastic lap time in that Williams, nearly got to the 106s. But as we go towards turn 3 down the hill, just about got past that BAR. It was really tight, but didn't really cost us any time. But up in front we got a cross, and this cross was to block me off, so I wasn't able to improve my lap time. So we'll go over to Murray Walker and the grid. Hopefully we haven't lost too many places from our second place.
Ralf Schumacher is on pole. Next to him, Heinz Harald Frentzen. Sitting in the grid, 3rd slot, Rubens Barrichello. In 4th, Jacques Villeneuve. 5th place for Mika Salo. In 6th spot, Eddie Irvine. Jean Alesi takes 7th. In 8th, Johnny Herbert. 9th position for David Coulthard. 10th place for Mika Hakkinen. 11th is Damon Hill. Pedro Diniz sits in 12th place. In 13th place, Olivier Panis. 14th place is Alexander Wurz. 15th place for Giancarlo Fisichella. 16th place for Jarno Trulli. 17th for Toramosuke Takagi. In 18th is Pedro de la Rosa. Luca Badoer starting 19th. Alessandro Zanardi starts 20th. 21st is going to be Marc Genet. And starting right at the back will be Ricardo Zonta.
Well done to Ralf Schumacher there. I believe that's his first ever pole position. I line up in second, but Mika Salo having a good qualifying, getting in front of Eddie Irvine in his first race for Ferrari. As we get lined up on the grid, and we'll go over to Murray Walker and the red lights.
Just waiting for the lights now. The tension is unbearable.
So the lights go out very quickly. Just made a little bit of contact there with Rubens Barrichello. He has got the jump on me. As we go towards turn 1, we'll be able to get back at him, and that's Mika Salo absolutely flying through there. What a great overtake by the Ferrari. As we drop down to 5th, we're very lucky he didn't drop behind the Sauber as well. We've got Eddie Irvine behind, championship leader. So as we go up towards turn number 2, we get through, still under a little bit of pressure, but pulling away from Eddie Irvine. I believe that is Jacques Villeneuve who got in front of me as we go towards turn 3, down the hill towards 4 and 5. And there's a good exit there from that corner. We'll be able to get a run into the left-hander. We have a think about it, but we're chopped off. A little bit of contact there, but no harm done. As we go through the second left-hander, we've got a much better drive out of that one. Easily get 4th place on Jacques Villeneuve. And we're going to be chasing down Mika Salo, who has a really poor corner. Was he going into the pit lane? It almost looked like he was going in the pit lane there, but very defensive into the final bend. As we cross over the start-finish line, it's going to be Ralf Schumacher from Rubens Barrichello, from Mika Salo. I'm in 4th, Villeneuve 5th, Irvine 6th, Coulthard 7th, Hakkinen 8th, Bainhill 9th, Johnny Herbert 10th. So quite an interesting top 10 there as we go back up towards turn number 2. The uphill braking, very tight corner on that game. If you if you steer too early or too late, you will go off the track very easily. As we see, Jean Alesi is our first retirement of the race. So coming to the end of lap 2, going through the last 2 corners here, Mika Salo seems to be really struggling there as we take 3rd place. So we're going to be chasing down Rubens Barrichello Stewart next. So he won't be an easy person to pass because, as we said on the previous episode, he's got Ford power, very strong engine in this track here. It's a lot of hairpins and straights, so that's where the power will really come in. As we set fastest lap of the race, run slightly wide there, and Mika Salo retakes 3rd place. So that's what happens, just slightly outbrake yourself and you'll lose your position. As you see, Jacques Villeneuve has also retired from the race. Going towards turn 3 and just able to get on the power so early there. And just past Mika Salo. So that seems to be our strong point. That corner seems to be our strong area on the track as we go through the left-handers. Slightly wide here, but we're in the slipstream of the Stewart Barrichello and take 2nd place on the run into the last 2 corners. So it's just Ralf Schumacher to go. As we head over the start-finish line, we'll just keep an eye on the top 6, see if there's any changes in there as we go through turn 1. So Ralf Schumacher from the south, Barrichello in 3rd, Salo. Hakkinen was in 6th behind Eddie Irvine, so not many movers amongst the top 8. And we go into turn 2 as we see David Coulthard sets the fastest lap of the race. Ralf Schumacher gets a very poor drive out of there, and that is quite an easy way to take the lead. And it was to stay that way for quite a while, to be honest. If we skip forward in a few moments as we go through that corner there, I'm just going to skip it forward to lap 20. So we're starting to approach some back markers now, and the back markers are so hard to try and pass on this track. As we see there on the screen, so Irvine is into 2nd, Hakkinen into 3rd, Coulthard 4th, Hill 5th. So pretty much normal order has been established now. As we're starting to catch up with Luca Badoa's Minardi, coming under pressure from the Ferrari from behind, so I might have to get a bit defensive going into this corner as they tuck it a bit to the right, have a little bit of a slide there, make a bit of contact with the Minardi, block off the Ferrari. It's Mika Hakkinen that takes the lead. Where on earth did he come from? So if we go through these corners into the final sector now, Mika Hakkinen is having a bit of a hard time trying to pass the Minardi. So obviously the blue flags aren't coming out at the moment. We go through the last couple of corners and Luca Badoa getting really defensive there. Mika Hakkinen forced him wide, and I'm back into the lead. I've got past Luca Badoa, so can I build a bit of a gap here amongst the traffic? So myself and Hakkinen and Coulthard got into 3rd, so I'm going to assume we got there when had a little bit of contact with Eddie Irvine. Hill and Barrichello complete the top 6. As we go up the hill towards the right-hander, trying to really get in front of that arrow. He's made a complete mess of that corner. How on earth have I kept the lead? I do not know. But you really have to get past his back markers quick on this track, because they will cost you so much time. You get the yellow flag, so that's one less back marker to deal with. That was Alex Wirtz, but also who went out was David Coulthard. So more mechanical problems for the McLarens. They had the double retirement in at Silverstone, so more trouble for the McLarens as we go through those corners again. The double left-handers, and we've got more back markers to deal with. I believe that's Marc Genet in front, so we're going to get past him on the straight here because we've got so much more speed. So good place to get past as we go into the final corners. Run a little bit wide there, but no harm done. As we go over the start-finish line, just look at that behind. We've got the Ferrari and the McLaren side by side, and Eddie Irvine has taken second place. As we start lap 23, we've got more back markers in front. As we run slightly wide there and chopped across the nose of Eddie Irvine. Didn't mean to do it that much. Going to get very defensive, and one of the McLarens is coming through, which has caught me totally off guard there. A little bit of contact with Mika Hakkinen going into turn 3, slightly wide, and in one go I've dropped 3 positions just by going ever so slightly wide. So Hakkinen, Irvine and Ralf Schumacher have gone by. I said that was turn 3, this is turn 3 here. Made a little bit of contact with Ralf Schumacher. As we go towards turn 4, got a much better run, so we're going to regain 3rd place here as we go into the left-hander. But now can we get past Mika Hakkinen as we go through here, slightly wide. I didn't need to get much tighter on that apex as we go through the corner as they start to pull away. As we go through the last 2 bends, and we'll keep an eye on who is the top 6. It's so close at the front end here, so any slight mistake and you'll be out of the points. So Irvine, Hakkinen and myself. Damon Hill got past Ralf Schumacher as well. Rubens Barrichello in 6th, so 2 seconds separating the top 6. Salo in 7th, 11 seconds behind, so you can see how close it is. Come under a bit of pressure from Damon Hill, and that was Ralf Schumacher who's got past Damon Hill, almost got past us. Now I'm having a run at Mika Hakkinen, caught completely off guard. Damon Hill's now re-overtaken Ralf Schumacher, so it's you know, one moment you're in 2nd, 1 minute you're in 1st, and then you're in 4th, and then 5th, and this is just crazy. So still chasing after the McLaren, and get a good run there. We'll be able to pass him because he's been blocked by that arrows, but now I've been boxed in by the arrows. Made a bit of contact, nearly got overtaken. There's a yellow flag there because I think someone who was behind has retired, because I can see there's a dot stopped on the track map on the left. We go over the start finish line. I might be able to find out who it is if it wasn't one of the back markers, as it's Irvine, Hakkinen and Frentzen, and Rubens Barrichello who's got past myself, so he's in 3rd place. I'm down to 4th. Damon Hill in 5th, Mika Salo 6th, and Ralf Schumacher's missing from the timing screen, so I'm guessing that was him who got retired. Let's go into turn 2. We'll get the confirmation as we get to the end of the 1st sector. There we go, Ralf Schumacher has retired, and I'm looking at the track map, he's still there, and will they be able to clear him? No, they haven't, so they've sent the safety car out. There he is, just there. He's in a very difficult place to try and recover, so the safety car comes out on lap 25 as we go into lap 26, so going to bunch up the field again. I decided not to pit because the track is so short here that if you make like a 2-stop, strategy, you're going to lose a lap along this track. So going towards turn 2, and this is where something quite unusual happened. So the traffic has slowed. I've half spun it and trying to bring it back round, and I've been hit by one of the Minardis, which has then forced me to overtake Damon Hill, and I've been given a stop-go penalty. That's one of the most ridiculous penalties I've ever seen. It was absolutely unbelievable. Had that Minardi not hit me, it would have been absolutely fine. But Well, safety cars come in, going to serve the penalty straight away. I don't want, it's one of those I don't want to serve it, but what can I do? We come into the pit lane and we're going to stop in our box for 10
Are we
seconds.
seeing something dramatic here? Finally, the yellow flags are out. I'm glad they finally spotted the obstruction.
Bit late for that, Martin. The yellow flags have gone back in. So we've completed our penalty and we're going to come out in 6th place. But just coming along the start-finish straight is Giancarlo Fisichella in the Benetton as we try and negotiate this really tight pit exit. So we have come out just in front of Giancarlo Fisichella, but we didn't stay there for that long because we go to the what will be lap 28. I make a similar mistake to what I did in the British Grand Prix. I just turn in too early, bounce off the wall into the gravel, and Giancarlo Fisichella will take an easy 6th place. But we'll skip it to lap 35, so we're starting to go into the pit stop, so we've instantly jumped up to 4th place. And we're going to be pitting at the end of this lap, so we're going to come up over the hill and going to take a really sharp right as we come out of this corner. Just be very careful as you enter the pit lane because you think you can carry a lot of speed and you actually can't, so we're going to get that limiter on in for our only pit stop of the race. So we're just going to change it to hard tyres. That's the only change we're going to make as we come into the pit stop. Just going to be a quick 7 seconds, and we've dropped down to 6th. Will we come out ahead of Giancarlo Fisichella? That's going to be the key bit because he's just coming around the final corners now as I go off the limiter and stay in front. This time I don't hit the barrier as I leave the pit lane, so have made up a position in the pit stops. So gonna skip to lap 38. So we have been catching up with Mika Salo in her Ferrari, and we had a little bit of a run here, but Luca Badoer was leaving the pit lane and he just comes straight into me, so it's just a bit of unfortunate timing there. Probably would have got the position from the Ferrari because I had a much better run, but getting up the inside now, taking the position. We'll go to the next lap here, trying to get past some of his back markers. Got past one of the arrows, made a little bit of contact there with Ricardo Zonta's BAR, but still keeping up with Salo's Ferrari as we go towards turn 3. So go down the corner. As I said, I'm very strong here on the track compared to the AR. Got a much better run, and will I be able to get one up the inside? Just 2 wheels slightly on the grass, but I should have the position and into 5th place. So I'm going to be chasing after Damon Hill next, so just a couple of seconds up the road. So just under 4 seconds as we look at the top 4 here. Well, it'll be the top 3. So Hakkinen, Irvine, Barrichello, Damon Hill's in front of me. I'm in 5th. Mika Salo is in 6th. So lap 41, chasing after Damon Hill, and as we go towards the double left, I think the call has been made by Eddie Jordan because I run ever so slightly wide here, no big deal. As we go through the next bend, Damon Hill will slow down quite a bit to let me through. Unfortunately, a few laps after that, my teammate actually retired as I ran slightly wide off the track, and that was largely to be the last action of the race because 13 seconds behind Rubens Barrichello with 30 laps to go, and it was just too big of a gap to close down. Not a lot really happened, it was just lapping back markers. It was just largely lapping back markers at this point, not a lot going on. So trying to sneak up the inside of the cross, but it has a bit better braking, but we do get through. Skip to the final lap. So Eddie Irvine has taken yet another win. I'm going to have to tally up how many times he's actually won this season. I think that's 5 now. He's been absolutely incredible. But he has had bad reliability at times. Mika Hakkinen will finish 2nd. Rubens Barrichello will get another podium, so 2 podiums in a row for the Brazilian. And as I said on the last episode, he deserved the podium at some point in the season. He's now got 2 of them. I'm just going to come around the last couple of corners and I'm going to pick up 3 points and with a 4th place finish. It'll be Mika Salo in 2nd, Ferrari in 5th, followed by Giancarlo Fisichella in the Benetton, who was a lap down. So there is the top 6 on the screen. We'll just get the full race classifications up as well. So not many retirements in this race. Last person to retire was Zanardi, so we had 11 finishers. But we'll see what that does to the championship table. So Irvine increases his lead. He's up to 54 points. I'm in 2nd, just ahead of Mika Hakkinen with his 2nd place, so 38 to 37. Michael Schumacher stays in 4th, not part of the race, 28. 21 for Coulthard. Barrichello with those 2 podiums has jumped up into 6th place. He's now ahead of Ralf Schumacher and Damon Hill. So 13, 12, 11. So that's really good. Good tight fight there for 6th. Villeneuve stays on 6 points in 9th. Mika Salo back in the car, gets 2 points. He's up in, well, he's not improved his position. He's still in 10th, but he has closed up on Jacques Villeneuve. Alesi with 3, Herbert with 2, joined with Fisichella, who got his 2nd points finish of the season, and Zanardi and Zonta close out the point scorers. Over to the constructors, so Ferrari got a massive 84 points at the moment, followed by McLaren, who added 6, so they're on 58. Jordan in 3rd with 49. You just sort of wonder where it'd be if Damon Hill didn't have so many retirements on this game. It'd probably be a strong 2nd in the constructors. Stewart have jumped up to 4th, so they got in front of Williams, who stay on 13. BAR have 10. Sauber have 3, and Benetton now have 2. So the next round will be at the Hockenheimring in Germany, so it'll be my home Grand Prix. I don't know what's going to happen there. It seems to be if you're a home driver at your own Grand Prix, you're not having good luck. We've seen Ferraris retire from San Marino, McLaren's retire from Silverstone. In this race we had Alexander Wurz retire from his home race in Austria, so don't know what's going to happen there in terms of this curse for home drivers, but otherwise it's normally quite a good strong track for myself. Hopefully might be able to get our 3rd win of the season and close down on Eddie Irvine. So that one won't be too long to come because I've got a little bit of free time, so I'll record that one fairly soon. But for now, that'll be all for this video. So leave a thumbs up, press subscribe, leave a comment, and just share around, and I'll see you all at the next round.